and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition of Japanese Wrestling Update X Stardom Review. It's a crossover show. This is going to be, it's a live show. It's on OLE. It's going to be on Andre Melball Talk, and it's going to be on SNME Radio. It's going everywhere. We're here to talk some Japanese wrestling update here on WrestleMania weekend. I am your co-host, the sword hammer himself, Andre C. Right over here, I've got my co-host, the wonderful, the United Empress. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I have to quote Michelle Pfeiffer on this one from Batman Returns. 4-5 still alive. I'm here. I've made it through the week. I have gotten my hands on my favorite energy drink right now, the kiwi strawberry.
I thought you were into
And
that
it's
pineapple.
Friday.
I thought you were into the pineapple one.
It's good, but it's not my favorite. And it's Fat Friday, Andre. You know what that means.
A lot of
means I get my cheat meal. I get my one cheat. You know what I had? I had a sub from Subway, and my cheat was extra ranch.
There you go.
I
want to give a big shout out to the chat room right now as we're live on OLE right now. We got Bobby dropping in quickly through our local assumption account. Hello, Bobby. Thank you for jumping in. My tag team partner on Marvel Talk, Ed. He is here chatting in here. At Mel's tag team partner on their show, it's Astrid Pizarro. Love you, Astrid. And then Ed giving us the musical sword hammer in the chat. Love it. And then Ed saying "Boo Ranch" because I agree. Boo Ranch, Caesar all the way. Caesar all the way. Caesar or Italian vinaigrette.
You know, I do vinaigrette for my regular meals because they're obviously healthier. Ranch is my spoil. Sword hammer.
That sword hammer.
It's been a bit since I've seen the sword hammer combo. We almost saw it with somebody recently before they broke themselves. I think Soy Boy did it at RCW.
A version of it, yes.
A version of it, yes. Very fun. Very fun.
Yeah, so we it's a special if you're a fan of Stardom Review and you heard the song off the top, wasn't our normal intro song because we're doing it live on OLD this week for a Japanese wrestling update. But again, it's a special edition. So we're going to be getting to a little bit of news off the top. And then we're going to get into our Stardom review of Stardom in America, the American Dream show that they had here in in Philly for WrestleMania weekend. So we're gonna kick it off with news first, as we do here. That's what we do. We give you the Japanese wrestling news. We don't got a lot of it. This week it's match announcements and a preview for tomorrow morning's Sakura Genesis show, which I'm not gonna get to watch until Monday because I got so much stuff going on this weekend. So
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, we have stuff going on here tomorrow with Mr. Money Munson himself. Excited for that. It's been a hot minute since I got to work with Bobby.
Yeah, we're going to watch some Tokyo Joshi Pro in the morning. I'm looking forward to that because, again, it's a company where I've watched on a bit here and there, but I don't know the people very well. Oh, love you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because I said love you, Astrid.
I think she's responding to the message beforehand, but okay.
Oh! I didn't see that one. I only worry about myself.
We only see what we want to see, isn't that right, my partner?
Yeah. Okay. She's pretty. I'm funny. Okay, we'll go with that.
Oh, together we have a full crayon for the box.
Just one though. Just one. One between the two of us.
One between the two of us. Oh man.
So we're gonna get without further ado, we're gonna get into. Oh, before we do that, I want to thank each and everybody for joining us here on OLE Live for the watch along in the chat and on Twitter, on Twitch, and on YouTube. Thank you so very much. For those of you listening after the fact on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk and Backbreaker Video. Thank you guys so very much for watching the video. Please, and to all those on the other channels, like, subscribe, comment down below, all that stuff. We really do appreciate it. And if you're on Sunday night, if you're listening to us on Sunday night's main event, thank you so much for listening to us. I hope you're going to view the little news update and then our review of the Stardom in America show. Very much thank you for joining us with them. Give them a 5-star review. And if you can, subscribe to patreon.com/SNME radio. And if you want to listen in audio form, Sunday night's main event.com or at patreon.com/SNME radio. So we're going to get into it. We're going to kick it off right away. Oh, I got to click the button. There it is. There it is. There's the button. We kick it off. The first news item I want to talk about Stardom. This is a Stardom in America show. We're talking a lot about Stardom today. We're going to kick off Stardom Wrestling World 2024, April 14th in Taiwan. They announced that Starlight Kid will be facing off with Hanako on that show. I'm hoping for at least one more Stardom match announced for that show. But I know they have Stardom, they have Puzzle, and they have New Japan all in as part of that show. So it's going to be a very full show. Very understandable if this one or maybe only one more gets announced. But again, I think great match to showcase Stardom. Like the new Stardom versus kind of, even though she's very young, the old Stardom and Starlight Kid. She's been around forever.
100%. Hanako has just been, she hasn't even just been taking those steps. She's just been sliding up like 2 or 3 with those long ass legs of hers. She is so good. And the progression that she has made just in like, it's under a year now that she has, that I remember seeing her with this company, and she is already a part of a new faction and arguably one of the more dominant members of that faction. And having her go against the experience of Starlight Kid has a reputation for putting on incredible matches no matter who she is standing across the ring from. I suspect this will be a tremendous exhibition for Stardom there.
Oh, 100%. And I look forward to seeing whatever else they announce, because that's only a week and change away now. Like it's a week and 2 days away. 9 days from now is. I think they've announced other matches. I just don't have them. But again, I don't have them readily available. This just came out a couple days ago, so I wanted to talk about this because again, we are big fans of Stardom here. So, and this is going to be a very Stardom centric show once we get through the news. So, yeah,
that's not a problem.
Not at all. Not at all. But yeah, as we get, so again, I'm looking forward to this match. Again, it's good, and I'm loving to see Hanako getting a feature position. Is a big thing. Seeing Hanako get a feature position. And speaking of, the G1 Climax is coming this summer. Dates have been announced for the show. Again, no specifics on who's in it, none of that stuff, because it's far too early for that information. So the tournament will start on Saturday, July 20th at Edion Arena in Osaka, and it will complete for the final 2 nights of the show, going back to Sumo Hall on August 17th and 18th, and there is an August 10th show on my birthday. I am excited for that.
Well, we know what we're doing on your birthday then.
Yeah. Oh, well, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to sit around and watch wrestling in my underwear.
Okay, never mind.
At home by myself. Don't worry.
Well, we were gonna say we can watch along together, but like if you're gonna be in your underwear, I'm gonna pass. I don't want that. I don't want to have that responsibility for myself.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. Not yet. Hey, I might be very much more sexy by then. I don't know.
I'm just saying that I'm not comfortable in our relationship to be lounging around in our underwear together, my friend.
I get it. I get it. You're just not comfortable enough with yourself. I get it.
Fair.
Oh yeah, but G1 Climax. It's a tournament I always look forward to every year. I've been watching it for years upon years. I remember watching it on I think it was Ustream way back in the early 10s. It was on Ustream, and it was so unreliable. They would drop partway through matches. It was like before their streaming service ever got up and running, and it was pretty rough trying to watch. And it was expensive. It was like $130, $140, but you got the entire tournament for that price. But it was still quite expensive.
Yeah, we'll probably have to put something together on our socials beforehand to maybe see if we can have our regular predictions kind of going on here.
I already got an idea.
Get some of the viewers involved.
Oh yeah, I want to do a viewer pool, and I know I want to talk with our friends over at SNME and at Holy, try to get a group pick going, see who can do the best, and maybe make a prediction in a predictions pool. All that fun stuff.
Get a little bragging rights.
Yeah, it's always a good time. So lots to come over there with the G1 Climax. Looking forward to that this summer. We're gonna move over to All Together Again was announced. The return of All Together Again. They did this last year. It was Noah, All Japan, and New Japan all working together to have this group show. So they announced, before I get to the matches, the announcement came, and it's going to be it's for her, and a lot of the money raised is going to be for hurricane relief or earthquake relief in Japan or in Taiwan. I can't remember where. It's good. It's an earthquake relief thing they're doing on this show. So yeah, yeah.
First of all, real quick to the comments. Say hi to Mark.
Oh, Mark! How you
Hi,
doing,
Mark.
sir? I the man who regularly makes our thumbnails for all these shows when you see them on YouTube. I did it this week because I already had a thumbnail for our version, so I figured I just changed the logos and put it on the OLE version. Thank you so much, Mark, very, very much for all the help you give us and all the friendship you have given us over this time. Really do appreciate it, sir. Yeah, again, earthquake relief is where the money's going to go for this All Together show. It is on May 6th, so only literally just over a month away as we record this on April. As this happens we do the show on April 5th.
Yeah.
So literally just over a month away. But they announced 3 matches for this. So the match card you're seeing on the screen, it's the team presidents. President Hiroshi Tanahashi of New Japan versus President Narumichi Marufuji of Noah and Cyberfight President Senshiro Takagi, who essentially runs Cyberfight, which is overcut Noah and a bunch of other DDT and a bunch of other companies. These 3 presidents are getting together to hopefully destroy House of Torture, which is Evil, Red Narita, and Yujiro Takahashi. Oh no, I don't know about this show. I don't know about that match.
No, I'm looking at this going, destroy House of Torture. The only thing Mr. Tanahashi, El Presidente, is going to destroy right now is his knees walking up a set of stairs to get into the ring.
Yeah.
I am concerned about this also, just because I know, is it Marufuji? Is that how you say his name properly?
Narumichi Marufuji. He looked good in that Osprey match, but again, he's getting old too. Same with Takagi, Senshiro Takagi. Like they're all getting pretty old at this point.
I've never seen Takagi, this Takagi. So I can't really speak honestly for him. I feel that Marufuji will keep up. I mean, Osprey, arguably the fastest, the smartest, and the most powerful wrestler that they had in NJPW. Not that the combined might of House of Torture doesn't equal one of those things. So I feel like Marufuji will do very well against these guys unless the numbers games becomes an issue. Takagi, I don't really know. So he could also maybe help some of the balance. I do get concerned where Tanahashi is coming into this, that he might be the wrench for them, because we can't keep having Red Narita taking these losses when he's just come back from excursion and found his niche in House of Torture. So I am concerned that Team El Presidente is going to be the ones taking the loss here, just because they do need to reestablish Narita.
Don't want that though. I want Narita reestablished, but not with House of Torture though. I want him reestablished, but not with House of Torture.
No one wants House of Torture or House of Torture shenanigans.
So, and then the next match, well, it really shows the new that more companies are being involved with that, because we're getting the youth match here. It's the future of Japanese professional wrestling match. So you have New Japan's Shota Umino, Noah's Kaito Kiyomiya, and DDT's Yuki Ueno, and they're taking on New Japan's Yo Uemura, DDT's / AEW's Konosuke Takeshita, and Dragon Gate's Shun Skywalker. This is the match out of the three matches that I am actually the next match I'm super excited for too, but this will be stellar. A 3-on-3 match with just a future of Japanese professional wrestling. It's going to be insane. I know Mel's excited because Konosuke and Kaito are there, but yeah.
Yes. Yes, all the yes. I mean, they're not just good-looking guys. Those two guys wrestle like I used to love Ibushi's wrestling. They just kind of took Ibushi's freaking wrestling style and shot off into another stratosphere with it. These guys are like the next generation of Ibushis for me. So that's like it's super exciting to not only see them, but to see them working a match together. Ah, so exciting. I don't know about you and Murray in this one, but
Yeah.
we're gonna make the best of that situation.
Yeah, and then the third match that was announced is Jeff Cobb is going to face off with Tomohiro Ishii, and they're bringing in partners. Ishii is bringing in Daisuke Sakamoto from Big Japan Wrestling, while Jeff Cobb brings in Keno's. I don't know if the Keno's. If you know who Keno is, his stablemate. Yeah, it's Masa Kitamiya. If you remember, if you wasn't this past year, but last year they did the Wrestle Kingdom the show on July 17th that had Noah
I'm in Los
versus
Ingobernables.
the LAJ versus Keno's unit, and Masa was in one of those matches. So yeah, this is going to be a big Haas beating each other match, and I'm excited.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
also, I mean, we've always mentioned Tomohiro Ishii is very much a gatekeeper, I think, for the
Mm-hmm.
strong men coming into NJPW. This could be an opportunity for what was his name with Mr. Cobb?
Masa Kitamiya.
Kiyamiya?
Masa Kitamiya.
Kitamiya.
Yeah.
This could be a great opportunity for him to maybe find himself as an entrant for the G1.
Mm-hmm.
We did
Yeah,
see
and
Kiyamiya last year for it. Why
yeah,
not this one?
yeah, we saw Kaito. Yeah, saw Kaito Kiyomiya. We saw Eddie Kingston. We saw a couple outsiders in last year's tournament.
Mhm,
So again, I hope we can see some people like this and give some people some chances this year in future years
mhm.
going into these. And yeah, again, I thought just that's going to be a very fun card. Just those three matches announced.
Mhm. Something else might be like, it's an argument that could be made is that, oh, we could be taking spots away in the G1 for people in NJPW, but these other companies also have similar tournaments. Could we see a talent exchange happening at that time?
Well, yeah, Noah
That would
has their
actually be ideal.
because Noah has the N1 victory. I
Mhm,
know All Japan has the Champions Carnival. I'm pretty sure Big Japan has their own. TDT probably has their own. Dragon Gate probably has
mhm.
their own. So again, there's always opportunities there for guys to go to other
Absolutely.
companies and feature in their big tournaments too, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, it's really interesting, and so I'm hoping this is obviously going to lead to more with the partnership that they're working together. All the companies are working together. The All Asia wrestling thing they're doing. But yeah, I look forward to seeing what they do here with this show. So we're gonna jump over. We're gonna preview tomorrow's show quickly through here. I have to pull up the card again. I apologize. I did not have it open because I'm bad at my job. Just remember, I am bad at my job.
I recognize one of
Uh,
these guys. I mean, I
ye-
recognize the NJBW guys, but I
I was
recognize
gonna
the one
say
guy
you
over
better
here.
recognize a few people on this one.
She's not that blonde today. Come on now.
Yeah, you're purple.
Exactly.
Frontier Zone 6-man tag match. It's Chaos's Tomohiro Ishii and Toriano teaming up with Bolton Oleg, taking on Ayato Yoshida, Chicharito, Shoki, and Tukuro Niki. I can't remember what companies these guys are from, but it's not one of the companies we regularly watch. Yeah,
Is it DDT?
might be DDT. I think probably DDT. I'm not sure. I think it might be DDT. Hold on. I'm gonna click on this
Because I
guy.
feel like I recognize the Yoshida guy? I feel like he came over to NJPW when he was in his young lion years. Do you remember the one lion that we saw who had kick pads? Like 4 or 5 years ago?
I'm looking. I
I
don't
feel like
see
that's him.
which one. I don't know. I'm looking to see what the history
It's
of these three guys are, but
the the one with the curly side swept black hair.
yeah, I'm still not even. I don't even know which one that is.
Well,
Sorry.
one has red hair that should eliminate that one, guess who?
Yeah, none of these guys have
Not the
history with
one
New
with the
Japan.
90s bowl cut,
Yeah, none of
the
these guys.
the other one.
It looks like they're all from. Oh, they're all two PW guys. That's it. Two PW. Active
Hmm,
Advanced Pro Wrestling. That's where these guys are from. Is two PW. Yeah.
okay.
Who? Astrid, thank you. Yeah, it's guess who. Yeah, sorry. The company is two PW. Is where these three gentlemen
Okay.
are from. And then they have worked with like got some couple of these guys have worked with Gleet in the past and other small.
Oh,
And, one of them has worked in Freedoms, has a little bit of his. One of the guys has a little bit of history in all Japan. So again,
okay.
there's some history with these guys. So yeah,
I really do feel like the Yoshida guy was a young lion at one point. Not like
yeah,
fully with NJPW, but they had an exchange thing. It was the same time that Yoda Suji and Ren Narita were young lions.
yeah. None of
They would
them
actually
show.
team with them.
Yeah, none of them show any history with New Japan. So
So it must not be him then. It looks
I
just
get.
like him though.
He kind of has a Kosei Fujita look too.
He does, yeah. Yeah, this will be
Yeah,
fun. I
yeah,
hope
and
we
then
see that little yeety thing that
that'd be,
Oleg
I,
does.
I hope so too. Main card. It's El Desperado and Ryusuke Taguchi versus TMDK's Kosei Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. Again, I'm always going for my boys TMDK.
Well, like at this point, it would be insulting for them not to pick up a win on this. I love El Desperado. I have the guy's dang mask, but like Taguchi has become, especially in the last little while, the main fall guy. Unless he's in like a singles competition kind of situation,
Mm-hmm.
then he's like the surprising Yoshihashi of the tournament. But Kosei Fujita has been just on a steady climb. And I feel that he is going to be the one person getting a big push right now in the year to come, just because of how damn good he is. Ichiban Spicy Boy ain't nobody to mess with. But then Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, arguably, I already feel that this man shouldn't have lost his title. He should still be a champion. But that is what that is. This is gonna be great. This is gonna
Yeah,
be a fun match. It's gonna be as serious as Zack Sabre Jr. can keep his face, but it's going to be a goofy ass thing.
yeah. Next match is
Oh
David
no.
Finley and Gato, the War Dogs, taking on LIJ's Bushi and Hiromu Takahashi. This is almost cheating. This is David Finley and Gato, who are both heavyweights, taking on two of the top juniors in New Japan. Don't get me wrong; these guys can hold their own, but David Finley has just become a monster. And Bushi and Hiromu are kind of, yeah. I'm worried for them.
Yeah, I mean, Hiromu arguably though, we've had this discussion, and you definitely think he walks that line, if not Jim in over to the heavyweight side a
Mhm.
little bit more. And I think that's where he kind of belongs. I feel like Hiromu has done everything possible that he can do in the junior division. So I think that this is going to be a challenge for him, but it's going to be a welcome challenge. But like
Mhm.
Bushi, that's just cruel. That's just rude.
And again, Gato's not the biggest heavyweight, so again, I think Bushi can easily hang with Gato, and it's going to be a test. And I think this is trying to start introducing Hiromu to that heavyweight landscape, is what I feel
I
like
agree.
this is. Yeah.
I have to say though, I hate Gato's stupid penguin shoes. He looks like Pingu. Newt, those
Uh,
shoes.
Yeah, that's true. And then we've got the final, like, not big match on the show. United Empire's Callum Newman, Great O'Khan, and Jeff Cobb taking on just five guys, Doki Sonata and Yuya Uemura. Hopefully, we get a Doki Choki.
Yes, and I feel like Callum would be the best person to sell it because he's like Osprey level good at selling,
Mm-hmm.
Osprey level good at bumping. He's just so good.
Yeah.
I am concerned about Doki in this one though, because I wouldn't consider this combination of United Empire to be a lightweight in any respect. Like Callum Newman might not
He's
be a very thick man, but he's probably dwarfing, I think, even Great O'Khan in height.
Well, Callum Newman is very tall, and but unless they're Alex Zaning him, I don't believe he's a junior. Unless they're
Oh,
Alex Zaning him or Alex Zaning him or Shingo Takagiing him in the, yes, I'm doing quotations for those of you who are listening in audio form. Um, unless they're doing a Shingo Takagi's a lightweight or Alex Zane's a junior heavyweight kind of thing, I don't believe him to be a junior heavyweight.
no, not even a little. Not
No,
even a little. So I think that this might be but we've seen how good and how intense Doki is. He's not going back down.
no,
He's
not
gonna be
even a
right up
bit.
in there. Hell, he'll even probably try to put it on Jeff Cobb, who like doesn't even have much of a neck for him to get his feet up in there, probably. But bless him,
He's
he's
almost
probably
at
gonna
Ishii.
try.
Cobb's almost at Ishii levels of no neck.
Almost. And once
Almost.
you reach that level, that's like legendary status.
Yep. We move on to the first of 5 title matches on this show. IWGP Junior
Oh,
Heavyweight Triple Threat Tag Team Match. It's Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors and Joe Maloney defending their titles against Catch 2-2, Francesco Akira and TJP versus the Intergalactic Jet Setters of Kevin Knight and Kushida. I'm excited. This is going to be
wow.
crazy.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be all over the place. Like, if you guys like those kind of junior style matches where it's just like bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, all over the ring, that's what this is gonna be with like a random flying Kevin Knight.
Yeah,
Just randomly.
I've seen his new gear in pictures from the Road 2 shows. Looks His
Ooh.
new gear looks so good on him, man. He's gone to actual tights
Ooh.
instead of the pants, and they
Oh,
look
nice.
phenomenal on him. And his whole setup, his entrance gear, his in ring gear, it all looks great, man. It suits him so well.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Excited. I'm excited to see that
very
now.
much so. And then for the IWGP Tag Team Championships, we get Bullet Club's Chase Owens and Kenta defending against Bishamon, Hirakagoto, and Yoshihashi. I just want this team to go away. Like, I love
Same.
Hiroki Goto, and I have really come to appreciate Yoshihashi over this last couple of years. I'm done with them as a tag team. Like, go away, go be singles competitors again. Like, Yoshi can go be in the KOPW, and Goto can go be a never open weight guy. Like, just go away.
I just heard go be single.
Yeah, go be singles wrestler. Go be singles wrestlers. Whatever.
Oh, I agree. I sadly agree. I love Godo. And like look at the tournament he just had in the cup. Like, gosh dang, like he may have gotten a pass, but was it really a pass? He
Mm.
fought so hard those last two matches.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yoshihashi has also like we've seen G1 Yoshihashi remain with us for like the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been incredible to watch him evolve. But as a team, I don't feel that there's anything else that they could possibly do right now. And unfortunately, in their matches, when they are doing these tag matches, they as a team haven't been able to pull out something new to show us or pull
Mm-hmm.
out something unique to make the match more fun. It's left it underwhelming. So it's like it's not like they're not performing at the regular level that we expect. They are. They're doing so good. It's just in these if we're going to see you in the same position, we need to see something a little sparkly to justify you being there, and we haven't really gotten it from them in their last like 2 or 3 runs. It's been disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
like Kenta having a title, damn it.
I do too. We move on. It's Roppongi 3K battles again. It's Yo versus Sho for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Let's go. Yo's getting his first title. No, come on. Sho's going to cheat to win and keep his belt. Ugh.
The look on their faces is probably exactly how this match is going to end.
Well, just that like O face from Yo, and then
no. What the
Sho
hell from Yo? And he, I got you from Sho.
Yeah, I'm going with Sho because again, it's just they're going to pull the dirty tactics. I think, anyways.
For the sake of argument, not because it's what I really think is going to happen, I think that the opposite's going to happen. I think that we are going to see a new formation of chaos come out and back they boy. It might not be the current chaos. It might not even be chaos. It might be a whole other thing entirely. But I suspect that this is going to be the enough is enough match. And that something's going to break because this is a big show for them with a fairly large title on the go. I think for the sake of argument, the opposite's going to happen. It's actually going to happen to Sho. I think Sho's going to lose that title, and Yo's going to get his first title.
It's very possible. Then we have in a non-title match here, it's Jon Moxley and Shota Umino versus Ren Narita and Jack Perry. I think it's gonna be an interesting match.
What is Narita called again? Sold out.
Sold out, and then the scapegoat taking on the
more like the
and again,
thief.
And I'll admit I've gotten to very much like Moxley a lot more this last while watching him wrestle on AEW because he hasn't been bleeding every week, so it's actually been enjoyable to watch the guy.
Hey, that is a step up. I remember the last AEW show that we watched here. We set a timer to see how long it would be until he bled, and it was the whole match. He didn't bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, sir.
I'm hoping we get a good, solid tag match out of the guys. Every person in this match is a good, solid, great worker, but we know we're going to get House of Torch shenanigans in this match. But I still think we're going to get a good match out of this with everybody that's in it. So, just Moxley's been putting his working pants on lately. So
that's good. That's good. I wish they've always been on, but it's better late than never, as I always say. At least I have been saying a lot recently. And I've always mentioned that I do tend to enjoy Moxley's work over here, but I've also noticed that just seems to be the staple with AEW wrestlers. Maybe it's just me being biased. Maybe it's just that they actually do have a different work ethic over here. I don't know. But Eddie Kingston, Brian D. Bry D. Dibbity Doo Da Day, his work, so good. Jon Moxley, so good. Jack Perry, the things I saw with him on AEW were like, wow, wow. Here, I'm interested. Yeah. Here's my thing. With House of Torture shenanigans, I suspect that the not bleeding thing is going to come to an end. You got Narita swinging around that push-up bar. You got Scapegoat. I don't know what his weapon of choice is yet. The goat head that he wears in. I don't know.
But at least it would make sense. It would make sense if Narita hits him with the push-up bar for him to bleed. At least that would make sense.
It does, yes. And that's, I think, what the beauty is here, is that if you get schmucked in the face with something, it makes sense where you're bleeding from or how you're bleeding and what have you. I mean, we've seen what happens in Japan when you accidentally get cut. And look at Kenta's back. And he got yeeted off that ladder by Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. He cut up his back really, really bad, on top of dislocating his hip. This isn't no joke.
No joke.
But again, I do have a lot of hope for this because, as you said, each individual wrestler is very, very talented in their own respects. It's just where House of Torture is involved as a unit, Sakura seems to eventually find its way in.
Yeah.
So I think, like, if this is going to be a solid 15-minute match, we'll probably get, like, 10 minutes of awesome sauce and then 5 minutes of shit.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how House Torture matches go. The semi-main event, it's Shingo Takagi hopefully rescuing that never open weight championship from Evil. Please God. Let him take that.
Save us.
Save us. Save us.
Save us, please, Takagi. This Takagi. The Takagi I know. The Takagi I know, evil is not a problem one-on-one. Legitimately one-on-one.
It's
But
we
have to know this isn't a legitimately one-on-one match, even if evil tries to make it seem like it's gonna be.
Yep.
You know, at some point the lights are gonna go off or the bell is gonna start ringing and everyone's gonna be like, oh, look, there's a little dick at ringside.
Yeah. And then the main event of Sakura Genesis will be for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. It's Tetsuya Naito defending against his stablemate, the winner of the New Japan Cup, Yota Tsuji. And I hope this is the passing of the torch. Tsuji gets his championship and raises it high. That's my hope.
And I hope the same. And I think our good friend Astra Pizarro is also hoping the same. Man, are they building Tsuji up to be a beast in this too. Have you seen some of the promos that NJPW has been releasing on their socials? If you check out their X, you check out their Instagram, they are showing the incredible montages of both these guys. Naito hitting his Destino on some of his most biggest opponents, Kazuchika Okada, Tanahashi, and Yota Tsuji hitting his Gene Blaster on the same. And holy heck, does that kid have a strong freaking spear? Ay, ay, ay. This is going to be great. I'm so excited for this match.
Yeah, me too. So we're going to switch over to Stardom, which some of you here on the Stardom Review are here to listen to us talk about. We're going to talk at least Stardom American Dream show from Philadelphia on April 4th. I know a lot of y'all listen to me. That's what you're here to listen to on your Melball Wrestling Talk. That's what you're here to listen to. So we're going to talk about it. American Dream 2024, the Keystone State. We're going to get into it. We're kicking it off with AI Speed Championship match. On commentary, we had Veda Scott, and we were told Tom Lawler, but we couldn't hear him until the main event, which was really sad because when I heard from him in the main event, he was great. But it was just sad. You could hear little inklings of him throughout the show. So you'd have Veda calling and then like almost nothing, and then Veda calling again, and it was just weird. It was weird. But again, I thought Veda did a great job too. So
100%. She is actually quickly becoming one of my top favorite commentators in professional wrestling right now because she is just so good at what she does, and she's so quick with the moves. The knowledge that she has is so good. We saw her with this show, and we also heard her, on this show. We also heard her on that GCW JCW crossover show thingy.
Versus the World thing, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that show at the end here.
I know, but still so good. She's so good at what she does, and I really, really enjoy the energy and the enthusiasm that she brings to her commentary.
Very much so. So we started off high-speed match. It's Ram Kaicho, the current Spark Joshi Pacific champion, taking on the high-speed champion Mace Era versus Gadzai Saki Kashima. Ram's definitely in the back guy. Starts flipping everybody off to start. Just. And again,
it didn't deter anybody, but he's still cheering her.
When she starts shaking her hair at one point and like gets the powder, she throws the white powder and she shakes her hair and all the white powder comes out of her hair to like blind May Sarah and Saki Kashima at the early. It was great.
It was a lot of dry shampoo.
Yeah. So they do this like crisscross spot at one point, and May Sarah starts to crisscross where like people are running back and forth, like crisscrossing each other, and then they both slow down and start doing like high knee running, like overly dramatic, like high knee running. It was so funny. And May's still pushing them. Then I think Saki goes down, and then Ram trips over Saki. It was so.
Yeah. It was a goofy little fun. What do you expect actually out of Ram?
Yeah. In the end, though, Ram uses the powder on May. Saki takes out Ram, and Saki gets Kishikase for the win, and is your new high-speed champion.
And who's to blame for that?
Ram Kaicho.
You jinxed it.
I wasn't there. You can't blame me.
Literally, as soon as you said, what do you want to bet that Saki catches May May and becomes a new high-speed champion? And what happened, Andre? Literally seconds after. Seconds.
It was Ram's fault. Blame Ram. She threw the powder in May May's face.
Sir.
It was a fun match, though. It was just a fun, quick little match. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great to see these girls coming out here. I think I mentioned it to you. I don't know if it was the lighting or the video or what, but like I thought that Saki might have new gear because in Stardom, like the way it's filmed over there, it looks like a true red color, you know what I mean? Like a cherry red.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, it looked very like magenta, like a purpley red, you know? So it was like, does she have no gear? I can't really tell. It looked great on her. It matched her hair almost exactly.
But we did notice later with like Azumi, the color, she was wearing the same gear she has for a while, and the color's so much more vibrant off her gear with whatever cameras they're using. So I think it's just a factor of the cameras being used in America that are bringing the color out more. I think it's more what it is. I think it's probably the same gear. It's with the way it's shot, it's probably more vibrant that way.
Maybe the lighting also, because I feel like the lighting in Japan is a little bit more yellow.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. And then the lighting here was very LED bright.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was very white.
Reflecting off the mat, I was like, ooh, that's a little bright.
Yeah, it gave us a bit of a headache. Great high-speed match, though. This was definitely what, if you're like not privy to what Stardom is, this is a great example of what that high-speed division is like. It's just not always that goofy.
No, the goofiness comes, I think, more from the Ram Kaichao involvement, because most of the time when she shows them Stardom, she's in a lot of these weirdly goofy matches. So
yeah, Saki also, she kind of plays the cowardly lion in a lot of things, which can end up being very goofy.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. We move on. We've got a 6-woman tag match. It's Kamen Brene. I did say that wrong. Kamen Brene teaming up with Azumi and Saya Kamatani from Queen's Quest. I'm just going to call them collectively Queen's Quest. Taking on Momo Watanabe and Starlight Kid from Oedo Tai. Also teaming with the current New Japan Strong Women's Champion, Stephanie Vecchier. And I'm going to collectively call them Oedo Tai, because Vecchier has worked with them now multiple times. So,
You've also become very, very proficiently good at saying her name.
Vecchier.
Good job. Yeah, good job.
It's only because you're a kind of a jerk about it. And Andreas gave me the correct. I had to talk. She's from Chile, so I spoke to our Chilean friend to get for sure, because I was like, I don't even know if you were right. So I made sure, and he said, yeah, it is. Fuck yeah. So
Yep. I might know a thing or two. Take us into the match, sir.
Yeah. So there's a nice gory special double face buster by Brene and Queen's Quest. Just a lot of great stuff throughout here. Starlight Kid really working over Saya Kamatani at one point, getting a lot of advantage on her, which is really cool to see. Momo running at Saya in the corner and then just stops short and just kicks her in the face. I was like, yeah.
Yep. So good.
Yeah, Azumi going high speed, just running a rough shot over Vecchier. Vecchier and Renee, when they're in there together, were actually, I thought, really good like combo there, and I'd like to see them go one-on-one. Actually, I thought Renee was really good in this. Oedo Tai end up triple teaming, and then Vecchier gets an MX code breaker, whatever you want to call it, but only gets 2. Starlight Kid hits a beautiful dive off the top to everyone on except Vecchier on the floor. She even hit her own partner in Momo Watanabe there. Again, the other Momo's on this show too, so you can't get mad.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, but again, lots of good stuff here. The end of the match. Sorry, they're in the corner. Vecchier's hitting these headbutts, and forearm hits the double knees in the corner. She then hooks I can't remember Brene in the ropes, and then dragon screws her out of the ropes. Looks so rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just great stuff. And then Vaquier gets off the shoulders of Brene in the end, and gets a package backbreaker and gets the win, or kneecap package backbreaker, whatever you want to call it. It was great, and she gets a win. Vaquier and Azumi get into each other's faces after the match, and Vaquier hits this gross headbutt to Azumi, which is setting up their match at Windy City Riot on Friday, April 12th. A week from today, as we record this.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy heckin' shit. This was a great match. This was a great show-off match for all of these women. And this was actually the first time I've seen Cameron. So it was really fun to see her hanging with these girls because she had no problem. She did very, very well. Momo's kicks, though. Goddamn. She's so good. I love that new gear of hers. I'm glad that you finally saw the same thing that I did with the gear. And like, she looked so good. So good in that gear. And what made my heart even happier is when she got tagged in for the first time, the crowd erupted and started chanting for her. So I was like, either these people already know who she is, or they just know how good she is. And that made my heart happy because you never know how many people in the ring or in that arena, sorry, are fans of this, and or if it's just their first time seeing some of these girls. So it made my heart very, very happy because I think that was the first time I'd heard, one of the Stardom girls' names really chanted in this. Um, Last thing I wanted to mention was Bakir. Holy heck. I am loving her presence in the Stardom company. I know she hasn't wrestled a ton with them, just kind of like more the US shows. And then that
A couple days she did when she won the title.
yeah. But I feel that she's actually the first really effective true heel champion that they've had in a bit in Stardom, because we see this not only with this headbutting Azumi afterwards, we saw this with her match with Julia, where she won the title and she refused to shake Julia's hand and instead hit her with the title and pretty much demanded her get out so that she could celebrate on her own. Even when she's trying to be nice, she still ends up being a heel. And I love it. And I feel like Oedo Tai, obviously, perfect place for her to kind of spread that love.
Yeah.
Air
And
quotes.
Astrid in the chat saying, I love seeing Cameron get this opportunity. Cameron is an ex NXT superstar, Amari Miller. So I know Astrid and Ed are both familiar with her from her time over in NXT as
Oh,
Amari Miller. So again, she has
we'll
history
get
in
Ed
wrestling,
yet,
so
huh?
she's not brand new. So this crowd, and again, when she was in there, the crowd reacted to her. They seemed to know her, and
Very
and
much.
again, that's the NXT influence there. And again, she's out on her
Mhm.
own, and I'm excited to see what she's doing. Very correct. See, I'm right. I'm correct. Yeah,
We'll
that's
get
right.
Ed over here eventually. He objects staunchly, but
Well,
keep stealing your talent. Maybe you'll
I,
have
I
to.
I have a feeling Ed's going to be watching another Japanese company once it debuts, if all rumors are to be correct, um, from this Mania weekend. Julia and her friend Rossi were in the States to meet with WWE officials. So it looks like WWE might be putting money behind Rossi Ogawa's promotion. So it could work as like sending people over there and like feeding between each other, which I wouldn't mind because I can mean Tommy
Ooh.
Hayashishita in WWE.
Could we see an NXT Takeover Stardom Review crossover show in the future?
Hmm. Well, it'd be a NXT Ogawa Pro crossover is what it would be. Whatever
Well,
Ogawa's,
yeah, whatever they decide to name them.
yeah, Ogawa Pro. Just give me, or NXT Japan, whatever you want to call it.
I would say that feels more realistic.
Yeah, spark my interest. Yep, there you go. There you go, Mel. She's in. I'll be
My
watching it.
constant berating you with pictures and videos of what I'm watching on Stardom does not.
I guess not. She doesn't care enough, I guess.
Rude.
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 Astrid's so rude, but I love her. I love her to death. So, yeah.
Same. Rude.
Oh, we move on. There's only 5 matches on this Stardom America show, which made me sad. But we were done in an hour and 45 minutes. And I was like, great. It was nice. We watched it in person together. I was like, sweet. I can get home in lots of time to watch ROH tonight. Or that was yesterday because I had to review ROH last night on here on OLE. But yeah, it was a great. It was a nice tight hour 45. I enjoyed it, man. I really did. Yeah.
Same, yeah.
So we move on to a tag team match. It is Willow Nightingale and Saki making her return to Stardom, taking on God's Eyes, Syuri, and Konami. That is a dangerous duo right there. Saki out with her Spark Joshi Atlantic Championship. She is the other top champion in Spark Joshi. Both will be defending on Sunday at 2 p.m. For Spark Joshi at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern at the Spark Joshi show in Philly. So yeah, check it out if you can. I'm going to try to watch it, but I'll be driving through part of it to head to Mel's place to watch some wrestling with her. So it's going to be a busy day for me. So I'll get it watched at some point. But there's a bunch of Stardom ladies on that show. So if you like Stardom, check out the Spark Joe show because there's a bunch of them on that show. Syuri just dominating Saki early on. But Saki and Willow get a double team. Konami runs Willow out. They're both kicking Saki. It was so mean. And Syuri hits this harsh ass PK for 2. I was like, oh. This show was one thing for Syuri's kicks, but we'll talk about Syuri kicking a little later in this show.
I mean, obviously, arguably to me, of the top 3 strikers in Stardom are Syuri and Konami and Momo Watanabe. To have 2 of them on one team, you have to know you're going to get your ish wrecked.
And I look at it as I think Syuri is honestly the best female striker outside of maybe Shayna Baszler in professional wrestling today. And that's both because they both come from a shoot fighting background. If they want to kick you, they're going to hurt you. And it's the same thing with Tom Lawler. If he wants to kick you, he's going to hurt you. And Astrid, Willow. Yes, Willow Nightingale.
She did so good.
Yeah, Konami gets his seated drop kick to Saki right in the face for 2. It was like, oh, so mean.
Yeah, she was snug. She was snug on that one.
Yeah, Syuri just gets back in. She's kicking the heck out of Saki till Saki gets a suplex and fights back, gets suplex, tags out. Willow comes in with this huge spine buster to Syuri, gets a 2. Syuri does a cannonball and hits a forearm and a DDT. Again, this match was so good, man. Willow ducks a kick, gets Konami up top at one point. She gets her up on her shoulders, but then Konami turns into an octopus hold. Then Syuri gets an octopus hold on Saki, and then it's just like because they're both in struggle. And I love the duel of it. It looked really good. And then Konami takes Willow down for a pin for 2. Saki gets the scoop slam to Konami. Syuri hits a code breaker to Willow. And then God's Eye double team, like do a double German to Willow. Konami hits a missile drop kick off the top. She then applies a Lancer submission, which looked really good, but it does get broken up. Willow and Saki toss Konami onto Syuri. Konami ends up sneaking a roll up on Willow, but Willow gets out, hits a pounce, hits a Death Valley driver, but only gets 2, so she picks her up. hits that gut wrench powerbomb, also known as the Babe with the Powerbomb. And she pins Konami for the win. Willow pins Konami for the win. Again, awesome match. And I had so much fun with this one.
Same. And the point that an interesting point that Veda had made on commentary at God's Eye in Konami and Syuri there, both, again, a part of God's Eye, so they're very much so, they know how to partner with each other. They know their moves. They have their kind of very much like stars. They can interchange people with their moves and know what to do. They have those strikes back and forth. This was the first time that I believe they said that Saki and Willow were teaming together. So there might be, some mishaps. Or there was no mishaps. There were no missteps. These two were very, very solid. And actually, the team of God's Eye struggled a little bit at the end of the match there. So yeah, very, very interesting to see. But then again, when you think about it, it has been some time that Konami has been removed from being in the ring with Shuri and the other members of God's Eye since she has been in North America for quite some time. Now, there's a little bit of rust there, I think, that kind of didn't get completely worked off here before the two of them got in there. Just got to shout out Shuri and her robe. Her entrance gear was a silver gear, and I loved it. Absolutely love the gear that she has been rocking lately. It's so regal looking, but also like powerful looking. It always reminds me of like a samurai. Very, very similar to world champion Maika. Just very strappy, unlike Maika's. Very, very fun match.
Yeah, again, great match. Then we move on to the match that I wanted to see most on this show. It is Mayu Iwatani and teaming stars Mayu Iwatani and Momokogo teaming up with the former member of Stars, Tam Nakano, current member of Cosmic Angels, taking on the reunited Club Venus, baby. My the team that I was so excited about at the end of 2022 when they debuted. Mina Shirakawa, Mariah May, and Xia Brookside.
If I was in a better mood when we watched this show, I would have done the dance with them. And it would have been better than what Xia did.
Hey, she does better than Waka.
Better than Waka.
Because when Waka tried dancing the one time, she was bad.
No bueno.
At least Xia had the moves. She wasn't as flowy as Mina or Mariah were, but maybe she's not a great dancer, but at least she did it. She got it done.
Girl, if you need a stand-in, call your girl. I can do it. I know this. I am that mark. I know the entrance dance.
You can put on a blonde wig and put a Xia Brookside mask on and just dance for her and then run back.
Lend me some gear. Lend me some gear. I will do my best.
You're both tiny. You're both tiny people, so.
I feel like her top's a little heavier than me. But I feel like boobs wise, I think my back physically is larger, but I feel like she fills out her top a little bit better than I do.
Oh, wow.
Regardless, if you need a stand-in, girl, I got you. I got this dance. Mariah, you'll be here in May. I will give you an interview dance. You can interview me for this spot. I will happily do this.
So we get into the match, a great little match. Xia getting some good offense on Momo early, and then they get Momo in the ropes, and Xia gets on her back, like choking her into the ropes, and they all do the Club Venus pose while with Momo in the middle. It was so good. I laughed so hard. Mina getting the Romero special surfboard onto Momokogo. Looked great. So May gets Momo up top, hits the Trish Stratus special, the Stratus Rana to her off the top for 2. Again, lots of great. Maya coming in, does that dodge in the corner, and then the schoolboy into the super kick. I love that little move by Mayu Iwatani. Just Maya with the double arm drags to Mina and May, sending them into the ropes. And this is where I think they got 6-1, or I think they both got 619 here.
Yeah,
Oh no,
the
that's
double
later.
619, yeah.
No, that was a little later. This is where Mayu gets the double drop kick against the bottom rope, sliding through the ropes. The double 619 came off of Tam's move. Yeah, I'm reading.
Right.
I just looked ahead for that. Again, really good stuff. Tam and Mina get in there. And the best I can describe this is they have a shake off.
Yeah. There's no other way to describe this.
Tam gets in and Mina's down and like poses at her, like does her little Tam like head and hands pose, and then Mina does it back, and then they're doing. Then Mina does her booby san shake, and then Tam does her like bent over hand and heads and booty shake, and then Mina gets up and does the Rads shake those hips, and then Tam gets up.
Tip touching though.
And then I said shake those hips. I didn't say touch those hips. I said they were shaking those hips. And then Tam gets up and does essentially like a twerking booty shake. It's just
yeah, and then the same both times, just screaming woo.
And I just wrote down my phone. Tam and Mina have a shake off, and I showed that's I'm like, this is my note for this.
It was the goofiest thing that happened in this match, because the rest of it, despite all the pretty faces in there, they were beating the holy heck out of each other.
Yeah, Mina gets the assisted rope walk, a knee strike to Tam, then picks her up, gets her on the top, puts her up on top, and hits that magic screw for 2. Xia comes in, she's working over Tam. Tam gets back in control, sends drop kicks her into the ropes, and I'm thinking, or drop toe holds her into the ropes, and I'm thinking Tam's going to go for her running knee, but no, double 619 by Mayu Iwatani and Momo Koga. Loved it. Mina and May get the woo sweep to Tam Nakano, and Xia gets the PK for 2. Xia puts Tam up top, kicks her up there, but can't get as Veda Scott said, the birthday bomb. And Tam picks her up, gets that hanging dragon sleeper. It looks so good, and especially with the tiny little Xia, because she's just flailing around. It was so good. Tam misses coming off the top. Xia hits a code breaker. And then the trio hits the backdrop neckbreaker slam attack. And Xia gets 2. Stars takes out Club Venus. Mayu hits a suicide dive to everybody on the floor. DDT wheelbarrow suplex by Tam and Mayu combo, but the pin gets broken up. Tam kicks Xia right in the mush, like just right in the face, like just full on like spin kick to the mush. It looked rough as hell. And then she hits that running knee to the head for 2. Xia gets out of the Twilight Dream Tiger suplex and victory rolls, but can only get 2. So Tam hits a roundhouse, then finally hits the Twilight Dream bridge for the win. Again, great match. Like, just before we talk to the post-match stuff that happened here, great match. Like, this match was absolutely phenomenal. In my heart, I was so happy seeing Club Venus back together, because we had only been doing this about 6 months when they debuted at the end of 2022 there at I think it was All-Star Grand Queendom there in 2022 when Mina made her return, and I was so behind them. Then Xia disappeared in February, and then they plump out the roster, and then everybody would kind of leave, and Club Venus kind of fell apart. Now we got we now have the Empress Nexus Venus, which I am very much a fan of that team. But you always love the OGs. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because like I actually thought that the combination of all of them was a great opportunity for them to kind of start mixing people from around the world into Stardom, because we have seen a lot of amazing talents come out of Stardom, like Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Piper Niven, Bea Priestley. So many amazing women. To see them all on one team, though, with Mariah May, Zaya Brookside, Xena, and Jessie. How about Jessie? And then Mina spearheading everything. I had such hope. And when, as you mentioned, we start to see them kind of disappear, I kind of thought that Mariah and Mina would kind of be the two who would keep it together and keep it going forward. And then when Mariah ended up going to AEW, I was like, no, what's going to happen to Mina? It's nice, though, that we have had the opportunity to see Club Venus back together again. And I love even more that even though they're not, for lack of a better term, they're not a faction anymore, that the faction connections have allowed them all to go to all these different places and then still be able to come back together. That makes me very, very happy, especially given what happened post. Let's talk about what happened post, because that's very important. I think that's what Astrid is waiting to hear about.
Yeah, so post match, Tam Nakano does a Naruto run up the ramp. That's all. That's what it was. No, I'm joking. She legitimately does do a Naruto run up the ramp, and I'm like, oh my! I turn to Mel, and I'm like, she's Naruto running up the ramp.
She is. She is.
Yeah. But so Club Venus all pose in the ring together. You know, does one last let's pose, and then the AEW Women's Champion, Timeless Toni Storm's music hits. And she comes out, and she's not in black and white. She's in full color today. And she makes her way down. She's holding a thing of flowers. Zaya Brookside makes her exit. But Mina just goes and hangs in the corner while Mariah's in the middle of the ring, kind of going uh-oh, because she has her old mentor on one side with Mina. Then she has her new mentor in Toni Storm there. And it's funny the way she'd be looking at Tony all super happy, then turn to Mina super happy and go and kill the emotion. It was just Mariah May is a goddamn star, and when they're ready to push her up to the top, she's going to thrive because she has such great charisma and character work on top of being a great in-ring talent. Yes, she makes a mistake here and there. Everybody does.
Her ability to act is as high as her ability to wrestle. She's so good at it. When she speaks, you believe what she's saying. It's not like she's just sitting there reading the teleprompter on the other side of the camera and not giving you any emotion. Everything that she's doing, you believe that she's doing it. It's great.
Yeah, so Tony gets the mic, but the audio issues are still prevalent at this point in the show. When the music's playing, you can't hear anything, and when commentary is on, you can only just hear Veda. You could barely hear the mic. I had to turn the volume on the TV up way just to barely hear this. What I got, she's grateful for Stardom, what it gave her. She was proud to come from there, and she was praising Stardom. And she starts going into a praise of Mariah, saying she's doing so well and she's doing all these great things. And then she ends up saying that she loves her and gives her flowers. And this is where Mina kind of starts to get into Tony's face. They go face to face. Mina saying some stuff, but again, it's hard to really understand it. The one line I got from this is Tony starts jawing at Mina and says, well, the forbidden door is always open. And me and Mel both went because we're like, is she teasing what the match could be in June? Mina Shirakawa versus Toni Storm for the love of Mariah May. Let's go.
I mean, I would hope it's for the AEW women's title.
but the real prize on the line is Mariah May's love. We all know that.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, to be loved by Mariah May.
Yeah.
It would be a dream. It would be. It really would be.
It really would be.
I think I would love for that to be the case, selfishly, because we might not get to deal with it right now. But you know what's happening a month before Forbidden Door?
Edmonton Dynamite.
How freaking frackety frick frukin', how cool would it be to have Mina Shirakawa.
Oh.
At Rogers Place, I would die. I would Superman that hole over the railing.
If I got Will Ospreay, Mina, and May in one night, I'd be like, "Okay, kill me. You can kill me now. I'm fine. I'm fine." No, but I don't want to die. But again,
just kill me later, please.
Oh God, that would be amazing. But yeah, so
Could
and
you
then
imagine what a birthday present that would be for me?
Yeah, so they all get ready to leave, and they each hold the ropes open for Mariah. Like Tony goes to hold the ropes open for May, so Mina goes and holds the ropes open for May. May looks like super confused. Tony gets down on the floor, and she's like drags Mariah May to the floor and drags her off away from Mina. It was actually pretty funny. She's like, "No, you're coming with me." It was great. It was great.
I mean, Tony Storm is me every time someone else calls my best friend their best friend because, bitch, no. Know your place.
Yeah. So we're going to move on. Main event of this show. It is for the World of Stardom Championship. It's Maika versus Megan Bayne. Maika actually challenged Bayne about 2 weeks ago after she beat Utami Hayashishita. When Momo Watanabe wanted the title shot, she's like, "Nah, Bayne's the next challenger." She said it's Megan. Again, just two powerful women just beating the piss out of each other. They're just striking. They're slamming. Bayne hits a huge stinger splash and gets a double underhook suplex up the corner. I know Mel was just in awe of this match. It's her girl crushes.
So much so.
Bayne catches a running cross, pops her up in this huge Samoan drop. Mike ends up reversing a suplex and hitting a suplex on Bayne. Just the back and forth here. Bayne slam. Lariat. Mike gets a lariat cord to pin for 2. Transitions the armbar, but Bayne keeps the hands locked. So Micah turns it into a triangle, but Bayne lifts her up just with relative ease. And Micah's not. I'm not saying she's big, but she's not a tiny girl, right? And
she's a powerhouse.
She just lifts her up, puts her on the top rope. A little kerfuffle there, with the top rope. She ends up forming Micah, but Micah gets the boots up as she runs in the corner. But she gets caught in a bear hug by Megan Bayne, and Bayne belly to belly suplexes her over her head. I was like, holy crap. Bayne hits a swinging side slam for 2. Just the power of Bayne throughout. Bayne goes to the top, but Micah fights her, but she comes back, and they fight up top. She gets pushed up, and Micah comes back up. She hits and Micah gets a superplex off the top, gets that, but it's delayed on getting the count and only gets 2. Micah hits the slam and the big lariat, but Megan hits a flying lariat, like just jumping flying lariat, and both are down. Bayne unloading, and Micah gets a big slam, but Megan gets her own sidewalk slam for 2. Again, it's crazy here. Bayne goes up again, but is stopped. Micah ends up getting the Hemika bomb, running power bomb, but Bayne kicks out at 2. And then hits her own power bomb, and she gets 2. Micah gets a spear. Bayne gets a German she spears Bayne. She goes and she ends up on the apron, and then Bayne grabs her from the inside and Germans her over her head from the apron to inside. Only gets 2. Bayne hits that F5, but Micah kicks out of that 2.95, just barely getting the shoulder up. Bayne puts Micah up top. Micah reverses, hits a Michinoku driver off the top, but Bayne kicks out of that 2.999 because Micah took her a couple seconds to get the pin again. So Micah picks her up. Michinoku driver 2. And that's the first time I heard Tom Lawler call in this match when he yells Michinoku driver 2. And I'm like, oh, they finally turned his audio up. Or they turned his audio up. But when he yelled Michinoku driver 2 at the end, I'm like, yes. And she gets the win. Absolutely tremendous match. They hug it out. Again, let's talk the match first before we get to the post-match stuff here.
Yeah. This was my match to see. Divine Kingdom is essentially Team Melball's girl crush. I didn't know who I was cheering for in this one. It really depended on who was pretty much winning at that point in the match. It switched back and forth for me. It was crazy. The power of both of these women is just so prevalent in this match. Both powerhouses in their own right. But it was interesting to see what Maika didn't pull out in her arsenal, just because I think that she knew she was kind of dealing with an equal. There's certain things that she might have been limited to. Because when we see people usually go for a splash, she catches them and just yeets them over her head. Didn't even attempt that with Megan Bayne. And there was definitely opportunity for her to do so, but I don't think I think she knew she wouldn't be able to do that on Bayne, because Bayne, I think, does have a little bit of height on her and therefore a little bit more strength on her, which is why we were able to see Bayne eating around Maika a little bit more effortlessly than Maika is usually used to being yeeted around, I think. This match was just raw power from both of these women. It was so incredible. And this is exactly why Megan Bayne ended up with match of the year with only working what, 4, 6 months over there?
Mm-hmm. She came in July, I think. So about 6 months.
Yeah. So 6 months she was able to go and have match of the year with one of their biggest stars in Julia. I should tell you about the quality in wrestling that Megan Bayne is capable of giving. And then the night before this, I believe she beat Joey Janela in that Immortal Wrestling show. These are not easy people that she is going up against, and she is plowing through them. If you don't know who Megan Bayne is, find out and then let us know what you think. Because
Yeah.
gosh dang, so good. But the
So
post, oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So Defying Kingdom, they hug after the match. Momo comes out. Moba Watanabe's music hit. She comes out and she says, "The next challenger is me." And then they go into a Japanese promo. And then Momo goes to hit Maika with the bat, but Megan Bayne pushes her aside and stands there, and Momo just stops. And then she's like, "All right, I'm leaving," and she just f's off. It was great. Bane's
Smart
just like,
choice.
you ain't hitting my friend. Then Maika Lee, she tells the crowd, "When I say we are, you say Stardom," and she goes, "We are," and the entire place goes Stardom, and it was
Yes.
awesome. Yeah.
It was so great because you can even see some of the fans in the camera. Thank you, Stardom. Thank you for coming here. Please come again. Yes, the show
Yeah.
is solid, solid. I wanted to shout out Veda again one more time because in this main event, she was losing her shit. And it added so much for me to the match and its intensity. It's really rare to find a commentary crew that works so well together that helps really genuinely create that whole overwhelming environment for you. And I feel that Veda and Tom did a very good job, despite not being able to hear much of what was said by Tom on this one. What we could hear from Veda sounded amazing. And I'm sure, based on what she was saying to Tom, that he was asking and talking pretty well as well.
Yeah. Again, and his calls during the main event were great. Like I was like, I guarantee you, he's been calling this well the entire show. But they finally got his audio figured out in the main event, and I'm a little disappointed we didn't get him earlier on because I would have loved to have heard him during the Syuri match because
Oh
he's a
yeah,
former tag team partner of Syuri at the original the only historic crossover show, where it was him and Syuri facing against Julia and Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah,
correct.
yeah. See, my brain does work sometimes. But yeah.
You know,
Uh,
that one was honestly because, I think the biggest match sensationalized at that historic takeover show was Goto and Maika versus Tanahashi and Utami. So, I'm always impressed when people remember that one because that one was also so good. So good.
but for me, that was the match. Like, as I was a big Julia fan, I was a big I'm a Sabre fan. I'm a Tom Lawler fan. That's why that match really sticks out in my head. I'm not quite as big of so I like Syuri. I'm a fan of her, but like those three are like three of my top people in professional wrestling that I love in Lawler, Julia, and Sabre. So, yeah.
And I like Maika.
There you go. We move on. We're going to actually, before we get out of here, we're going to talk the JCW and JCW versus the World show. We're not talking the whole thing. We're talking one match. We're talking Masha Slamovich versus Syuri for the JCW World Championship. And I'm not breaking this whole match down. I have probably 2 to 3 pages of notes here. This match went the full 30-minute time limit. This was incredible. I haven't seen Masha versus Shayna Baszler yet, but from every report I have heard, that match was absolutely incredible. That was a blood sport in the afternoon where they beat the living piss out of each other. So this girl's already hurting from facing one former UFC fighter. So what does she do? At midnight, she shows up to JCW, GCW versus the World to face another ex-UFC fighter in Syuri. This match, I think, could have been on Bloodsport. Like, that's what this match was. This was these two chopping and kicking and striking and punching and just beating the piss out of each other.
Yeah.
Actually, before the match, though, when the ref was doing lifting the belt up, as he brings it down, he drops it, and the crowd chants, "You effed up, you effed up, you effed up." I was like, oh my god, I haven't heard that in so long.
And honestly, the only thing that did F up in the entire match. Holy heckin' crap.
Yeah. And Masha Slamovich, we are very familiar with her here in Edmonton and on Chop Top because she is a former Top Talent Pro Wrestling champion here in Edmonton. Yeah, she's incredible. Like, this chick is incredible. Again, these two just like the kicking, the striking, then they go into the submissions. Masha catches catches a kick at one point and dragon screws the shit out of Syuri's leg and pulls it, and then she pulls a knee bar, and then Syuri starts kicking, so she ties up the other leg with her other leg or with one of her legs to like tie it up, and it's just. And then just the amount of the submissions they work through. It's like I was watching Sabre and Danielson roll in the submissions that they do, because these girls are going from submission to submission to submission to submission, and it was an absolutely incredibly awesome technical wrestling match that I can't help but recommend to everybody watch. I can't remember what the price of Triller TV Plus is, but this is on Triller TV Plus. You have to pay that basic amount for a month, and you get I'm pretty sure there's probably a free trial if you go to sign up. If you've never signed up for, I don't know, I've had it for a while now, but it's worth it. There's a whole mass of shows that Triller TV Plus has on there this weekend from Philly. The entirety of the collective is going to be on there. We'll be watching, not live, but we're going to be watching a replay of the Tokyo Joshi Pro Show from this morning, live on OLE tomorrow morning. So we're going to watch it. We're going to do a watch along there. So if you want to come in at 9 a.m. and hang out with us, we're not showing it. We're just going to watch it on other screens. And if you can start at the same time we can, you can watch it with us. But yeah, this was just wrestling. This is Wrestling Clinic 101 in what is very much a mat-based, strong style match. And it's everything you could ask for between these two.
100%. 100%. So something I'd mentioned locally in the past is some people pull their shit when they're in the match. The match that came to my mind was Dean Richter versus Thickness, where Richter was pulling his stuff against Thickness. And I was like, no, it's a Thickness. He wants you to hit him. His moniker is violence, violence, violence. Hit him. That was what I was like, ooh, are we going to have that situation in this match? This was not the case. Oh, these girls were going at minimum 100. Like, it was insane. It was so nice to see Syuri doing that, though. We haven't seen her putting in 100 into those kicks in a hot minute. We see her strikes, we talk, they're deadly. But I guarantee you she's not putting 100% into someone like Saki Kashima, even though she's on her team. When she was with Oedo Tai, there was no way she was gonna be hitting that girl at 100% with a kick. She would knock her soul right out of her body. There's no way. But with Masha, it was like every hit you just saw how aggressively solid these girls were with each other. It was effing incredible. But then to see just the dominant size difference with Masha versus Syuri. Masha, a big muscle mommy. She's thick, but don't let the tiny size of Syuri here like make you think she couldn't keep up. She's deceptively dense for how small. I was gonna say thin, but I don't think she's thin. She's just lean as hell. Every muscle on her has a function while she is wrestling, and she uses them for absolute control over what she is doing. This match was so good. And again, Veda was on this one, and she was just screaming her head off by the last 10 minutes of this match because it was so intense, so good, and the crowd was just losing their minds as well. You're absolutely right, Andre. This was a straight up strong style match, and it was incredible.
Yeah, again, it was just like I've watched wrestling clinics in so many different matches over my life, and this was a wrestling clinic. If you just want
Mhm.
like it, I can understand that some people wouldn't appreciate a match like this, and that's it's not. This isn't the match for everybody. Don't get me wrong. If you're into that high speed, like flying, got to see a lot of crazy action kind of match, this isn't for you, and
No, no,
nobody's gonna get mad at you for that because again, that's
no.
it's not everything isn't for everybody. That's
Mhm,
simply how it is, right? You can't yell at somebody for that. But when you get a truly awesome match like this, it's just so good.
mhm,
And yeah, Veda Scott was on the call for this, working with Nick Knowledge as their commentary partner. They were incredible together. I've heard Nick
mhm,
Knowledge multiple times watching GCW, and man, these two and like Veda's like keeps tweeting about how good that Stardom show was. She's like had
mhm.
repeated tweets throughout yesterday and today that she's just thinking about that show, how good it was, and it was. And that whole show was incredible. This match was simply incredible. Like just there's so much for everybody on WrestleMania weekend. If you want to see more than just WWE, go to Trailer Plus and just sign up and watch some of the matches from the collective. If you want to watch the Stardom show, you will have to pay. It's $25 American. You will have to pay for it. I know at some point it'll probably end up on Stardom World, but for now, it's going to be on Triller. So if you want to watch that there, but again, there's so much great wrestling within WrestleMania weekend that like if I was to go to WrestleMania weekend, I don't even think I'd be going to WrestleMania. I'd just be going to everything else and then take off Sunday. Well, even though I'd be still there Sunday to watch Spark Joshi. But like,
Hey, there you go.
yeah, again, there's so much incredible wrestling around WrestleMania weekend now that it's a destination event now.
It really is.
Yeah. But with that said, we've come to the end of another edition of Japanese Wrestling Update, another edition of Stardom Review. We thank you all so very much for joining us. First off, to those of you watching us on OLE, on the YouTube and the Twitch and the X, we've got a lot of people watching over on the X. We really do appreciate that on Twitter. Please, if you're watching on Twitch, please follow the channel. And if you want to support us, you can subscribe. We would very much appreciate that. If you're over on the YouTube, please like the video and follow the channel. We would really appreciate that. Also, make sure to leave your comments below if you're watching in the replay. And then for those of you listening to us on Sunday night's main event, not live, but as we were releasing this just a couple hours after we did it live. Please, thank you so much for listening to us. We hope you appreciated it. Don't forget, you can it's SundayNightsMainEvent.com to get the RSS feed for their podcast. And if you want to support and get some special shows and special perks, because being a member of the Patreon pays off. Patreon.com/SNME radio. I guess I should be putting that up. I should be putting all this, using the banners for all this stuff, eh? I guess I wasn't thinking. Yeah, so Sunday's main event. You can you get all the information's right there. It all go in the stuff below. You can find us, like I said, we talk about Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. If you're watching us there on the replay, thank you so much, very much. Also, if you're watching us on Backbreaker Video, thank you so very, very, very much. You please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. We love hearing from you. Share us out to all your friends, family, and crazy ass wrestlers across the universe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Ding dong. You can find me, this guy, over on the X at That Canada, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, Melball Wrestling Talking, and you also find us over on our YouTube page. Find me on our YouTube page. Again, SundayNightsMainEvent.com. For all the support, everybody there. You can find me regularly here on OLE Fridays for JWU. Next week will actually probably be another early show, as Windy City Riot is that night. So we'll probably end up having to do another afternoon show. So be prepared for that, ladies and gentlemen. And then you can find me this coming Wednesday, April 10th, doing the X-Men first 5 episode review over there. So check that out. Also, you can find our content over at youtube.com/@backbreakervideo. Thank you to our boy Mike the Ref for simulcast of everything. Twitch.tv/Mike the Ref for all his live content over there, his AEW watch alongs, all his great gaming content, and replays of his gaming content at youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming, where you can find him, Mr. PJC, the man whose sticker I still haven't picked up, Mr. Rick Jules. It's still on the ground next to my bag. And their freaking guests, Kayla J.
Kayla J.
Kayla J.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. You leave Kayla J here.
Mel, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find her, as Andre said, on our next episode of Japanese Wrestling Update, which will be apparently early next Friday. But it's usually on 8 p.m. Mountain Time, unless it's not, which is regularly not.
Yeah.
You could also find me on Astra Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. Hopefully after WrestleMania weekend and she's done doing all her crazy-ish, we can get back to doing some stuff, because we got stuff to talk about. We got lots of stuff. And after WrestleMania, we're probably going to have even more to talk about. So stay tuned to our socials to see when that's going to be coming out. If you're wanting to watch Stardom World or NJPW, we will leave links in the description box below as njpwworld.com or stardom-world.com. It is 999 yen on NJPW and 920 yen on Stardom, which roughly is approximately 10 Canadian. Shout out Sean Spears and congratulations on your NXT return, but more like 750. According to this girl, because I checked my bank account. It's still a great price to watch some amazing professional wrestling. So go check out those sites, you guys. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Again, just want to say thank you to everybody tuning in on our YouTube page, whether it's live, whether it's after the fact on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, Backbreaker Video, or on OLE. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share us out to all your friends, family, and please hit the notification bell. For anybody listening on Sunday's Main Event, again, thank you so very much. It's Sunday'sMainEvent.com. And for all the great content, so much stuff. They're covering everything. They go to the past. They so much stuff in the present. Lots. Again, we have so much great content at OLE this weekend. There's so much great content coming out at Sunday's Main Event this weekend for WrestleMania coverage. So much different stuff. And you can support them at patreon.com/SNME radio. And then again, everybody watching on OLE. Please, if you can, over on the Twitch, please give us a follow. And if you want to support us, subscribe to the channel. We really do appreciate it.
And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.